2012 Ford Edge wheel bearing replacement, right rear wheel bearing replacement. Obviously, the first thing you do is remove the wheel. Next, you remove this T40 that's holding the rotor on, Torx T40, and then this 32mm axle nut. You want to use an impact wrench on that because that's really tight. So let's do that. T40. You may have to hit the rotor with a hammer to loosen it up. So hit the rotor there, there, there. Just don't hit it there. They don't always come loose that easy, but the brakes were done not too long ago on this car, so it came off pretty easy. Next, we're going to take off the caliper. We'll do that from the back side. We're going to take out this bolt here and that bolt here. And you're going to take the whole caliper off. I'm going to take this part off right there. Push through as fast as I can. Those two bolts are 15mm. Use an impact swivel with an extension. Bolts are removed, top one and the bottom one. Next, you're going to remove the two. Let's take the caliper out of the way. Slide it out of the way. Lift it from the top. Pull it off. Take the rotor off. Put it to the side. There's your ball bearing right here. You're going to take these 4 bolts out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think they're 15mm as well. On an extension. With an air hammer and push the bearing out. That one's difficult. It's coming from this side. That's better. So we're going to use the new Easy Thread flex head ratchet that I just picked up and break those bolts loose. So let's push that bearing out. And for that, we are going to use, let me just show you. We're going to use that air hammer. And we're going to push the bearing out. And hit it right there on the top of the ball head. See what I'm doing? Right there. And there, hopefully. I don't know if I can get a straight shot on that. But I should be able to at least get it loose with this. So now I'm going to take the bolts all the way out. And I like to do it that way so that I don't ruin the bearing completely taking it out, because I like to see just how bad it is by spinning it by hand. And if I ruin the bearing, there's no way of me telling just how bad the bearing is. Alright, we're done in the back. So now we're going to go around to the front. As you can see, the bearing is loose. Only thing left now is to push the axle through. See the gap right there. Push the axle through and then change the bearing out. Another reason why I don't like to destroy the bearing when I'm taking it out is just in case I have the wrong part. It may look correct, but if it's the wrong part, I can always put the car back together and still drive it out. Alright, so just be careful because the ABS sensor is right there at the top. And you don't want to mess that up. You can see it easier from the back, but that's where it is. Don't screw that sensor up or you'll have to change that as well. That's the new hub bearing motor craft. That's the part number. Nice and shiny. Alright, let's put it in. I like to put a little bit of anti-seize on it. Copper anti-seize, just in case you got to take that apart for some reason later on, you can easily get it apart. I'm also going to clean that up with a wire wheel. Just going to take a wire brush to it. Be careful with that sensor. Looks like this only goes in one way, so just make sure you don't mess it up. What I like to do is stick the bolt in from the back. Put a little bit of anti-seize on your bolts. I want to drive that nut down a little bit. Pull my axle through. Now I can get some bolts started. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now really from the back side, but if you've gotten this far, I'm sure you can figure out what you gotta do. Alright, so we've got the bolts in, got them started. All 4 bolts are in and started from the back. So now we're going to go around to the back and tighten those bolts all the way up. This is one of the easier cars to do. On a difficulty scale of 1 to 10, this would be like a 4. That's how easy these are to do. I mean, it can be challenging if the axle is stuck inside the wheel bearing, but otherwise it's pretty easy. So you want to drive them in alternating. You don't want to do just one bolt all the way in. You want to alternate the way you tighten them up. Why can't I get to it now? Okay. And once you've got it fully seated, you can tighten them all up. You can tighten them up all the way, I should say. I should note that if you're using extensions, make sure you check the torque on it after you're done with the ratchet, because extensions take away a lot of power from the impact gun. I should say if you're using extensions on your impact gun, make sure you check it manually with the ratchet after you're done, just to make sure you got it tight enough. I'm not sure the exact torque spec on this, but if you want to check it, if you want to measure it, I would say probably like 80, about 80 foot-pounds should do it. Maybe a little less, but 80 should be safe. But just use good judgment. You don't have to torque it down to spec, even though you should. But you know, if you've been doing this for a while or you got some experience, you'll know what's too tight and what's not tight enough. And that's it, you're done. The only thing you have to do is put your caliper and your brakes back together. Put your caliper on, your brake rotor back on, and just do the reverse of the first few steps of this procedure, and yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, and that should be it. I'm not gonna film the rest of it because that's pretty easy to do. But that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please click the like button. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And don't forget to leave your comments and your questions below. Thank you. And that axle nut. Don't forget to tighten that axle nut. I almost forgot to mention that. So just make sure that that's tight. Otherwise you'll have noises and you'll probably ruin a new bearing. So make sure that's really tight.